Hello.
Hello.
So I thought it would be really great to just ask you some questions to look at, because, like everything, when someone's going through stuff, testimonials, and having a conversation with you, you can help other people. So we've been coaching together for a little while now, and I know you haven't yet got to your target, but it's coming. What's been the best thing about having our relationship, the coaching that you've been doing with me?
The positivity. Like, I've had coaches before where it's like, if you're going through things like where things have come at you and you have no control over it, like, I mean, you're going to feel it, of course, like you're going to feel the stress, the tension, but it's not one of those, just get over it, deal with it, and just keep going. Like, there's no excuse to not go to the gym. There's no excuse for that. Like, it was always, the gym was always put first before dealing with what was actually going on. Like, I don't know. I've had a lot of negative coaches in the past who only focus on the gym side of it, as opposed to not dealing with the mental side at all.
Yes. And well, speaking of the mental, right? So, we're just talking about the price of fuel. And, again, so if we don't focus on the mental, that is the most important stuff, because there's always things, especially now in these times. We've been through COVID, we're still sort of in it. Our lives have changed. And I know you're in Canada, so it's nice to share where you are. You're also in Canada. I just lost my question I was going to ask you, but yes, like the mental stuff is, in my opinion, is the most
big part.
And if you can't focus on that,
the mental side that I've.
Sorry, you went. We didn't hear you. What was that?
I said the diet and the exercise is easy enough to follow. It's the mental side is where I used to struggle the most with.
Yeah. And most people do, because Bree, was there any time, like since we've been together, that you thought, I just don't know if this is working?
No, I don't think so.
And you have in the past? Have you had? Yeah.
Yeah, I have had that before.
And that's really great, because we haven't had this conversation before, right?
Yeah.
And you've had so much come at you in these last 4 weeks. And I can't believe that you still stayed attuned. You haven't put on anything. You've stayed, in a plateau, but a good plateau, because I always say it's better than going up, right? Plateau sometimes is just survival mode, because you've been a little bit in survival mode, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of stress, but I mean, it's, the mental side of it has been a lot easier to deal with.
Fantastic.
Shifting that focus from negativity into positivity. Like, yes, I can work the overtime to make up the extra bills that I'm going to be missing out on income from losing a renter at. So it's trying to look at the gratitude of it and not the negative where it's like, oh, I have to work. It's more like, okay, I get to go to work, because a lot of people don't have that option.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that. That's just so powerful. That's so powerful to say that. And, and because when we're in stress, why I don't focus on when we are in this fight and flight, because that's what it's like, fight and flight. Our bodies are very funny, and some people can't lose weight. They put weight on during that period.
And that's usually what happened to me before, is I used to put weight on. And the fact that I can even keep it level right now and maintain where I'm at, even though I'm not losing, I'd like to be losing, but I'm maintaining. So it's a win, really. Because in the past, I used to put on weight. Yeah. I would put on weight before.
Fantastic. That's so great to hear. Is there anything else that you'd want to share if somebody was, sitting on the fence and thinking about, having, private coaching? Because there's such a have you ever done group coaching in the past? Has it always been more private for you?
There was some group coaching, like with the private one-on-one as well, but yeah, it was a different experience.
So is there anything, any tip you'd give somebody, or a piece of advice if they're thinking and wavering and not sure?
Just keep going.
So I have a good one for you too, because I know when we talked about, because people always make it about money, right? Rather than you always say you've invested in yourself. So what would have happened if you didn't invest in yourself? Where do you think you'd be?
I've been sick before, and I probably would have ended up there again.
Yeah, because when we met, you weren't in the best place.
No, mentally I was struggling pretty bad. It was I found I was always looking towards the negative, like the negative of it. Like, this isn't working, and how do I get out of this? As opposed to, okay, well, this could be working. What could I change to make things work?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Really
it's been a journey on like so many levels, like relationships, family aspects, work, injuries, the fact that my
well,
basement's falling apart.
yeah. Well, because everything, how I've always looked at, and that's why I talk about being sustainable, is because when we're not happy with ourselves and we can't say we're struggling with how we look, right? Because when we look in that mirror, if we don't like what we see, it's a lot of self-talk up here, right? And it is super important to be able to get to that place where you don't feel that way about yourself. And
Yeah.
you know, everything comes together in the sense of trying to lose weight.
Yeah, like I know I'm not looking the way that I'd like to. Like, the idea in my head that where I want to be 6 months down the road isn't where I'm at right now. But at the same
Yes.
time, I'm at the gym and I'm lifting 3 times as heavy.
Yeah.
Like the leg press machine, it's, I'm lifting 3 times the amount of weight I was 4 months ago. The leg
Yes.
extension machine, I could pull a whole rack. So it's not, the strength has definitely gone up.
Yes, that's great. And I actually just read something the other day. I'm just going to pick it up here if I can find it. This is a really, and I know this. So an interesting fact is that the human psychology and motivation is that vision drives our action. So knowing, right? So again, I talk about this a lot, and that visualization, seeing yourself the way you want to look, because it's the body catching up to that. So, and that's why we stand in the mirror and say, I love you, speaking to yourself and the way you look. And it's good when you do it naked because you're being real with you, right?
Yeah.
And having that one-on-one for yourself with yourself, right?
Yeah. Like, I'll look down and be like, hey, Belly, no more cookies. We've talked about this. We'll have cookies later. So it's
I love it.
But I mean, I go to the gym every day, and it's like, I go in there and I'm dressed in a hoodie and a pair of sweatpants, and the girls that are in there are running around their tight little shorts and their teeny little tops. I mean, they're firm body, they're hard body, like gorgeous women running through the gym. And I mean, hats off to them, they work hard. And it can be a little bit defeating where it's like, I wish I looked like that. But at the same time, like, I'm also lifting 3 times as heavy as they are. And I don't feel the need to be wearing this much makeup to the gym. So my self-esteem has definitely gone up, where I don't feel like I need to compete with them. So it's definitely a lot different. And I don't care if the men are looking. I would rather they don't. Like, I'm in there to do my thing. I put my headphones in and keep going.
That's so good. Well,
I mean, yeah, my hair is a little wild and crazy and I'm not covered in makeup, but I don't need that stuff.
Well, no, because what they're doing is they're trying to make themselves feel loved by looking more pretty, right? So remember what that's about. I mean, any professional athlete does not put makeup on and go to the gym, or runner. Like, it doesn't work.
I don't even understand how they get through a workout with that stuff on. Like, they are full face. And I'm like, I can't even keep that stuff on an hour after I put it on and sit on the couch. So I get my lashes done. That's about as girly as I am.
I know, but that's what it comes back down to, their own how they feel about themselves, right?
Yeah.
So, and I've always been very authentic of who I am. Self-love and loving yourself is the place you have to be first, right? And anywhere you are in your life, of that part of that journey. And
I don't feel the need to. I don't feel the need to want to go running around the gym wearing that kind of attire just to, get the attention.
Yeah. And I can see just a big difference in you anyway, from your attitude. And, you're just lighter with things. Like, it's that change in you. And that's why I say transformation, because sometimes it's all this stuff that we have to figure out, because that's holding us back from dropping the weight, because it holds energy in our body, right? And then it's like this backpack that we start unloading, and little bit by little bit, we start feeling like, okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. And then you have the energy and you have the drive to keep going.
I know, because people at work, they're like, we don't understand how you can get up at 3:30 in the morning and be at the gym for 4, work out for an hour, and then come do a day shift. Like, I'd be exhausted. And I'm like, you know what? I'm exhausted the days that I don't go. I was like, because I get that hour to myself. I was like, I get to do whatever I need to do for myself for that hour. I was like, because the rest of the day synchronones me for 12 hours. And I'm usually ran off my feet on a grader, which is fine. I mean, I like being busy at work. The more, the better. Like, just it gets the day through. It's 12 hours. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. But Yeah, it's the 12 hours I get, or the 1 hour I get to myself.
Yeah, it's so
It's like,
good. So
yeah, it's
good.
just by the time I get off work, it's like, dealing with dogs and dealing with housework, laundry, and all the other stuff that, my full-time job doesn't end at the gate when I leave the gate. My second job starts. So
Absolutely.
I was like, that's when I get my time. It's my hour in the morning. And yeah, those days that I don't go, I'm like, by 12 o'clock, it's
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
but it helps
It makes
reset
us
them.
feel good.
Yeah. Like you
Thank
have
you.
a good work and then you feel good for the rest of the day.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. That's really great. And thank you for sharing that. I know for a fact there's going to be some ladies that are just going to really feel that from you, and align with you and go, wow, thanks. That's been a big tip for them. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of those girls that are in there, they are miserable. I mean, they're skinny, but they're in the mirror. I've seen them, like I told you before, like they were in the mirror picking at themselves. They couldn't have been any less than, like they're ripped and shredded and they're, perfect. Like the ideal body that somebody would want to go for, but they were sitting there picking themselves apart. And it was just like, I couldn't understand it.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Well, we're not that age, so we don't need to worry about that. Thanks again.